dreamers gone? Or have we all just gotten lazy? Something's got to give. There won't be much life left to live. Please send a sign from up above. And if I gotta choose, I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. Ooh, something strange is in the air. Seems that everybody's changing, and I can't find no faith anywhere. Seems it's been replaced with raging. Something's got to give. There won't be much life left to live. Please send a sign from up above. And if I gotta choose, I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. No one can take that from me. I see what I choose to see. Reality is what you make it. So why would I ever choose hatred? I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. And no one can take that away. I choose love.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is crazy, man. Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. I'm Tremel Thompson. You already know. Man, it's a lot to say. And I'm going to try to be as to the point, to as brief as possible. Let me make sure that everything is working, though. Make sure, yeah, we live everywhere. But boy, if y'all watching right now, please share out this live. This is very important. I'm going to break down a lot of things for you guys. Start those watch parties. Copy the link. Put it inside the groups. Put it everywhere. We need for you guys to pay attention. Let me just get straight to it. This is put on the screen right now. I don't even know why that happened. Let me take that off. As a matter of fact, that may be too big for the stream. But that was a comment by a lady named Abby Collins. I think she's like some type of communications director for the MTA. But she said the agreement is within our full financial plan and includes net savings of $44 million annually from health and availability reform, plus additional tens of millions expected annually from OT, ADA, and productivity. Big win for the MTA in advancing key priorities and fiscal responsibility. Now, we know in a contract, and you know these contracts with the MTA, someone has to win and someone has to lose. There's no both sides win when it comes to these contracts for us. So you had this lady from the MTA say that it's a big win for MTA in advancing key priorities and fiscal responsibility. I want to put this on the screen. I think I just got to make it smaller. It's taking up a lot of computer power, but you guys need to see this. Let me see if that's better. That's the tweet that she wrote yesterday. Now, as we know, we have seen the union. They have put. I'm gonna put this next thing on the screen. They put this flyer out, and their flyers always show the highlights. Their flyers never show the things that we actually lost. So we gonna break down this stuff. Job and financial security for your families for the next 4 years. It's let me play this sound bite, man.
Get the fuck out of here!
This contract does not provide any financial security for our families. None whatsoever. They are happy about a 9.84% compounded wage increase over the contract life of 4 years. We talking about raises of less than $4 in 4 years. It's not enough. It's not enough to live in the city. It's not enough to survive in the city. It's not enough to take care of our families. It's just not. What else they got on this thing, man? Held in line on healthcare costs. No increase in payroll deductions. They're right. On the front end, it's only 2% that you're paying. But they're not talking about what's going on the back end. The back end, you're paying more for non-generic drugs, and you're paying more for emergency room costs. For anyone who has children, we all know. Let me move to the side a little bit so you guys can see what I'm looking at. When you have children, you never know when you may have to make that emergency room trip. You never know what time of the day you may have to go get your child treated. For example, my son earlier this year, during the summer, he got bit by a tick. You can't take your child to a primary care doctor being bit by a tick because you don't know how long that tick has been there. You don't know anything. So I had to take my son to the emergency room. The back end of this healthcare, that's not what they're not really discussing that. So when I seen some people online say, you got to take, generic drugs. Not all medication is in generic form. A lot of medication is in the original form until that patent runs out, and then they can make a generic version of that drug. So it's not fair to say that, you should just use generic. People don't have the options to use generic or not, but they're not talking about that. But if you got a family and you got to make emergency trips, trips to the emergency room, and you got to pay $300. Let's say you make 3 emergency room trips a year. You got kids or whatever may happen. That's $300. So is your healthcare contribution really 2%? If you just put $300 hard cold cash to pay for a copay, is it really 2%? It's not. It's not. But once again, they're only talking about the number in the front, not the number that's in the back that may affect you. Enhanced optical and dental, including coverage for implants for the first time. Now, I didn't see too much on that, but I did see that they are giving $1,000 for implants. I don't know if that $1,000 is on top of the $1,800 for a single person that you may get. I don't know how it's worked out until we see the full details. And just to be clear, no one has seen the complete contract yet. Not one person. The e-board who voted on this contract to bring to us, they have yet to see the full contract at all. So logically, how can you vote on something that you have yet to see? Every e-board member who voted yes must be questioned. How did you vote yes for something that you did not see? How does that work? Once again, if you join me live right now, share out this video. Everyone needs to hear this. Let's go to the next line. All overtime caps will be reset to zero upon ratification of agreement. Now, what that reads to me is this. There's some type of concession where I think that the seniors or whoever's getting the most overtime, the overtime would now be distributed evenly by the TA. And they don't want to put anyone at a disadvantage. So now they're talking about resetting the overtime caps to zero. Like I said, it's an assumption. It's an educated guess because no one has seen the contract to say what it is. Arctic pay for buses doubled to $2 per hour. I think that's excellent. I think that bus operators deserve more than $2, but I think that that's a right step in the right direction for buses. I think that them getting an extra dollar was excellent. No complaints about that. I think that they deserve another $4. Maintainers bonus increased to $150 from $500 annually to $650. Matter of fact, let me go back to the Arctic pay for buses. It's like I said, it's wonderful for buses. But what about the train operators who work opto? They only get $2 and they doing an extra job. They are train operators and they are conductors. Opto train operators didn't get a dime extra for this contract. Not a dime extra. Now back to the maintainers bonus, increased about $150 from $500 annually to $650. Any increase for any department is excellent. I'm not mad about that. But what about those flaggers that's working in the tunnel around that diesel equipment? What about the train operators that's working around that diesel equipment, breathing in those fumes all day? Why haven't they got an increase of $150 or an increase of $1 or anything like that? They talk about unity here. That doesn't look like unity to me. It looks like the union is pandering for votes in certain departments. And they want yes votes from certain departments, and that's how they target these departments and play favoritism with everyone. This whole Me Too clause on wages with Long Island Railroad unions, it's not about anything. In court, they don't even recognize that. So that's just full of pure fluff. Active service duty death benefit doubled to $50,000. Okay. Line of duty death benefit doubled to $500,000. That's good, but who that money don't mean anything. I mean, my family would be good, but none of us don't come to work to not think about making it home. Transportation should be one of the safest jobs in America. One of the safest jobs in America. These past deaths by our employees on in the line of duty was at the negligence of the MTA. It wasn't at the negligence of the workers. With the bus operator who got killed on the 46, it was because of management not doing enough to protect us. If they would have had rail partitions, the operator would have still been alive. As far as the construction flagger who passed away, it was at the negligence of the TA. Poor safety rules. When it came to the track worker who fell through the fiberglass or the wood, whatever it was because of poor infrastructure, because of the TA. None of us come to work thinking that we're not going to make it home. These should be some of the most safest jobs in America. Commuter pass for all express buses, MTA bus members to receive same pass privileges as TAOA. This should go without saying. Why we don't have all the perks of working for this company? For years, we weren't allowed to ride Metro North Long Island Railroad. We get that. The union bargained something away from that. Now we get express buses. All this is late. The real savings come in Easy Pass. What about Easy Pass? No Easy Pass again. But they giving us stuff that we should already have. We work for the company. We have a pass. It makes absolutely no sense. Swap Lincoln's birthday holiday for day after Thanksgiving. Now they keep playing hot potato with this one. One contract, they switch it around. Next contract, they switch it around again. Now this contract, they switch it back. Which one is it? That's not really a win for us. MTA to opt in to New York State paid family medical leave as soon as feasible. That was going to happen anyway. But what they don't have here is the payroll deduction of how much that payroll deduction is going to be, and how much we're going to put into it. Whether you are 55 years old, you're not going to make any more kids, or whatever the case may be, you're still going to have to pay into this program. And from what I heard, that this whatever the fee is capped by law, but we don't know how much it is. So that's another percentage taken out of our check. And we don't know how it was negotiated. Was it negotiated that we get a total of 3 months off at full pay? Is it at some type of 60, 70, 80% type pay? We don't know yet. But if it's not at 100% top pay, then there's no real sense to be out. The union should negotiate. It should have been for 100% pay for the 3 months. We don't know, because once again, the E-Board voted on a decision on a contract that they have yet to see in full. Committee formed to discuss set aside jobs for pregnant transit workers and 100 disabled workers.
Get the fuck out of here!
Pregnant women have been on this property for at least 50 years. It's 2019. The MTA has finally realized that pregnant women work amongst us. The union has finally realized that pregnant women works amongst us. But if you notice, there's no gain there. It just said committee formed to discuss set aside jobs for pregnant transit workers. They just there to discuss. There's nothing set in stone to say, we got this for you guys. We just here to discuss. And the truth of the matter with this administration, there's a whole bunch of committees. There's uniform committees. There's committees on schedules. There's committees on to examine lunch breaks. There's committees for every single thing. The union do not fulfill their job with these committees. So what the MTA do? Hey, we going to form a committee because we know you guys don't care about these committees anyway, because you guys don't come. You guys want to know how did we get Aetna? Well, there's a health committee that the union is supposed to be a part of. They never showed up for it. So the MTA gave us Aetna. We didn't have no voice at the table because the union didn't fulfill their obligation with the committee. So the MTA know exactly what they're doing when it comes to these committees, when it comes to setting discussions for contracts. Isn't negotiating a contract a discussion within itself? Why are we discussing a discussion? Like, does that make any sense? Man. Now they brag about the MTA's give back demands turned back, doubling on healthcare payroll deductions to 4%. No retroactivity on wages, including overtime only after 40 hours, part-time across all. Listen, all that is BS. What the union, what the MTA did was they played hardball. They started at things that they wanted high, as they should. What the union did. The union didn't do any of that. They just said, we just want what's fair. We just want to do what's fair. They never set a line, draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we're taking. They just said what is fair. The MTA did what they were supposed to do. They drew a line in the sand and said, this is what we are proposing. So the union trying to create an illusion and say, we fought back what they were proposed. They started out high. That's what they were supposed to do. That's exactly what they were supposed to do. Now let's look at the part where they say inflation beating wage increases. 2%, 2.25%, 2.5, 2.75. You look at those percentages, and the union is saying we got a 9.84 compounded wage boost. That is a fucking lie.
Get the fuck out of here!
That is a lie. And I'm going to tell you guys why it's a lie. The MTA already budgeted 2% a year for us in their budget. So they was willing to give us 2% already. So if you add up everything after 2% for these 4 years, you will get 1%, 0.25 plus 0.5 plus 0.75. Matter of fact, you will get like 1.5%. Get 1.5%. 1.5% is actually what they bargained for the 4 years. The MTA already put 2% in their budget for us. Already did that. The union was only able to get 1.5. So in all actuality, the May 2016 that you see right there on the screen, the first one, May 16, 2019, full retroactive, the 2%, that's actually a zero because the MTA was giving us that anyway. It's not like the MTA budgeted zeros for us for every year. No, they said we got 2% for you guys. You ain't even have to negotiate that. We giving you 2%. So the union actually negotiated a zero for the first year. Then they negotiated 0.25 for the second year. Then 0.5 for the third year. And then 0.75 for the last year. They did not do any work. None whatsoever. They did not fight for us. Look at this whole highlighted agreement. And this is supposed to be the good stuff that they got for us. Nobody's seen the concessions yet. Not one I'm going to keep saying this. Not one e-board person seen the concessions. No one's seen the concessions yet. But they voted yes. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And the people, and let me put this on the screen. Because you guys need to see this. You guys definitely need to see this right here. Not one operational title in this whole entire agreement at the end of the contract term is at $40. Not one operational title. And for the traffic checkers out there, at the end of this agreement, you would just be barely cracking $20. Barely cracking $20 in the year 2022. How does that work? Someone explain to me, how does that? Let me get you guys comments on the screen because I think it's very important that I see what you guys are talking about. Let me get you guys comments on. Continue to share out this live, please. Let me get you guys comments on the screen, man. me see what you guys are saying. Definitely, Kevin, vote no. Definitely vote no. Nobody, not, they didn't even address the cost of living. Who? Oh man, like, and ironically, the only titles that crack $40 an hour is the titles that have resume that you can only put in through resume. I find that mind-boggling. But just to give you guys an idea of the people who had influence in negotiating our contract. This is John Samuelson's salary. John Samuelson is the international president, the TW international president, very vocal during this whole contract fight. His salary is $298,962. You think he really care if we cracking $40 or not? $45, $50? You think he care? He's paid. He does not care. Utano, another one. Put Utanos on the screen. Let me move out the way. Now his pay is funny because this is he's actually on the international payroll. So for the international, he get paid $177,000. And then for the local, I didn't pull I ain't put the local up there, but the local, he gets paid another $30,000. So he's over $200,000. You think he care if we cracking $40 or not? Do you think he care? This is, and the E-board voted yes, and they didn't see the full agreement. Now, make no mistake about it, man. This is a sellout contract for us MTA workers. Out of all the major city agencies, and I'm talking about NYPD, I'm talking about FDNY, sanitation, corrections, I'm talking about all of those. We are the lowest paid in the city. The lowest paid, without a doubt. And you see their campaigns, they say that, we can't afford to live in the city in which we work. If they can't afford to live here, then how can we? And what's funny is that our salaries in 2022, 2023, at the end of our contract, can't keep up with their 2019 salaries. So what does that tell you about our pay? What does that tell you about our union fight, our leadership, how they bargain and negotiate? What does that tell you about them? Think about this, in 2022, our salaries in 2022 won't be able to keep up with those agencies that I name right now. Someone explain to me how does that work? Now, ironically, to put things in a better perspective, we are the lowest paid out of the major city agencies, but the MTA executives are the highest paid executives than all the other agencies executives that I name. How does that make sense? I need an explanation. Someone tell me, how does that make sense? And like I said, the whole smoke screen with the healthcare and the healthcare is at 2%, it didn't go up. It's a smoke screen. They not explaining to you the money behind the money you may have to spend behind that 2%, which, like I said, if you make 3 trips to the emergency room, or you gotta buy drugs, the proper medicine that don't come in generic form, so you could get better, or that family member under your coverage could get better, are you really at 2%, or you paying more than 2%? You paying more than 2%. It's all a smokescreen for these guys. And if you look at the MTA narrative, they talk about our financial challenges and our budget shortfalls and this and that. Their financial challenges and budget shortfalls is because of them. It's because of them. We don't decide the consultants they hire. We don't decide or pick the contractors that they hire who take a year, 2 years to rebuild the station. And then when that station is reopened, it looks slightly better than what they actually touched. Look at the whole Sea Beach line. Nothing special was happening there. And then now there's no forward thinkers when it comes to this contractors and all this other stuff. They just redid those stations. Now guess what? They got to spend hundreds of millions to add elevators there. Why wasn't this thought of beforehand? Was obeying the ADA law something new? Did it just happen this year? So the people that you hire, these consultants that you spend millions on, didn't foresee that you may need an elevator before reconstructing this whole station? How does that work? We don't decide if they're going to take money from New York City Transit and give it to an upstate ski resort to a whole bunch of people who may never ride this system, may have never been on an MTA bus or a train or anything like that, but they take the money out of our budget and give it to an upstate ski resort. We don't decide that. If the MTA was a typical corporation, people would have been fired. People would have been in jail. They throw away money left and right. The best job or to be in business with the MTA, the best people to be is either contractors or consultants. It's free money. It's free money. Right now, the MTA is looking like the United Nations. And when I say that is that they pull in all these specialists from around the world, hire them for $300,000. They come up with these weird ideas. These weird ideas cost the city, the taxpayers, millions of dollars because they never really come to fruition and they never really work. Instead of them coming to the people who move this system day in and day out, there are intelligent workers who work here, who have excellent ideas, but they don't listen to us. We could save them millions of dollars, billions of dollars, if they actually listen to the workforce. They do not listen to us. But we have to pay the piper for all their financial hardships. And not only transit workers via contracts, but the riding public as well. You guys pay because now I guarantee you they're going to say fares have to go up. Fares have to go up. And that's because of they mismanagement of money. The MTA is excellent at mismanaging money. Excellent. Nobody mismanaged money better than an MTA. When Roger was president, everybody was upset that he got the contract moved from Christmas to January. This contract, nobody is saying anything. It was we were even in a better condition than ever before to strike. You had Thanksgiving. The union didn't do anything. You have Christmas coming up in a few weeks. Instead of making the MTA sweat, they just copped out to a deal that's going to cause a mass exodus of transit workers out of New York City because we can't just afford to live here any longer. Mass exodus. They didn't even bother to make the MTA sweat. They just got up off of their knees and said, I'm tired. They gave up on us. This union leadership gave up on us workers. I mean, and even when you look at the RTO agreements, because I do want to touch on that. When you look at the agreements in subways, and you look at one of the man, the weakest person I have ever seen in my life. It was a big mistake of me co-signing this guy. Big mistake. Big mistake. I don't regret a lot in life. I rarely regret anything. But I regret putting someone so weak in position to not get us anything. And you guys know I'm talking about Eric. So weak. This is what he got for RTO. Employees who are eligible for 5 weeks vacation may select up to 2 weeks in single days. Unused days will be cashed out at the end of the year. So you gave the senior guys more flexibility to take days off when they could almost pick any and everything that they want. If you got 15 years on the job, you can almost pick anything that you want. You can almost get any day off that you want. If anything, that should have been given to the people who don't have 15 years, because we can't get what we want. It's hard for us to pick days off. It's hard for us to get days off, period. But you give it to them. And this is just, this is how the senior versus new guy type of battles be. It turns one against the other. This is not a unity move, number one. Seniority lists will be updated and posted every 2 years for conductors, train out. Who cares? They could be updated every month. It doesn't mean I'm going to move up faster or be able to pick faster or whatever the case is. That is not a win. A pilot program for employees working vacation relief to submit their jobs bids electronically. That doesn't help us. That helps the TA. It helps them figure out things faster. And this should not be in the contract. This should be an agreement outside of the contract that you could discuss to a pilot program to get that going. But for some reason, it's in our contract. Reduce penalties for cell phone violations to mirror language in the Department of Buses. Now, I'm going to say this. That's good, but it's bad at the same time. And I'm going to tell you this. The MTA do not give bus operators cell phones. In fact, driving with a cell phone, using a cell phone while operating a vehicle, period, in New York is against the law. The MTA give at least conductors cell phones. Why would you agree to an agreement where they give us cell phones, they don't give bus operators cell phones, but you want to mirror your agreement over buses when ours should be better because they actually give us cell phones, and it's not against the law to use a cell phone to operate a train, especially for a conductor when they give us cell phones. So that was poor bargaining for the cell phone thing. Poor bargaining. That I don't consider that a win. And another thing, not everybody breaks the rules here. So that is not something that affects every single person. In fact, nothing that was one for RTO affects every single person. Elimination of the PS 248 rubber room for employees with IODs. Eric did not eliminate that. You want to know what happened? The pilot program was set to expire. This wasn't never supposed to last this long. It was always a pilot program. So pilot programs come to an end unless there's some type of new agreement. Maybe there's a new agreement that he signed that will probably replicate the two. I don't know, because nobody's seen the full agreement again. But that shouldn't have been anyway. It was a pilot program. So him saying elimination, no, the pilot program ended, buddy. Cut it out. Labor and management will work together to continue to reform discipline in RTO. Shouldn't that be the case anyway? Shouldn't that be the discussion anyway. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's BS. I mean, and he said, overall, I feel we won a solid contract in the face of a horrendous employer demands, a budget crisis, and an ugly smear campaign by the MTA. Is he serious? Is he serious? When I seen what we actually received, what the e-board voted on, this is what came to my mind. Utano selling the members snake oil. He's a snake oil salesman. You guys talk about Utano got 38 years. He 38 years elected. He's a great negotiator. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Utano is weak. He's soft. He's a coward because he ain't stand up to Cuomo. He's not intelligent. He can't even talk. Talks like a third grader. I don't care if he's a nice guy. I don't care if he's cool to drink with at the bar. I don't care if he invites you to his house to sit to eat at his table. I don't care about that. Because none of that stuff got us a good contract. None of that stuff beat back the MTA how they were supposed to been beat back. None of that stuff got us the respect that we deserve as transit workers. None of that. 38 years elected. I mean, yo, this is beyond disappointing. I mean, the lunch issue and RTO wasn't addressed. Light duty for pregnant women wasn't addressed. We don't want them to put in the contract. We're going to discuss a discussion later on down the line. There wasn't no win for pregnant women in this contract. There wasn't a win for anyone in this contract. Once again, the raises 9.84%. Now I got to put this picture back on the screen. Two 2.25, 2.5, 2.75. Once again, the MTA budgeted 2% a year for us. The union only got us 1.5% over 4 years. Without no negotiation, honestly, the MTA was giving us 8%. With no negotiation, they budgeted 2% a year already. Before we even came to the table. The union got us 1.5, and then when it's compounded is 1.84 over 4 years. You guys are excited about that? Are you guys really excited? Matter of fact, I gotta put this tweet on the screen because you bus reps, the workers in buses. I need you guys to look at this. Give me 1 second. You guys need to look at this. I can't find it right. Let me see if I can find this in my photos. Because I need for you guys to see exactly what you guys reps be saying about this contract. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? All right, I don't have that one, so I'm gonna put this one on the screen. Let me set it up. Let me set this up. That's why these reps they never wanted to come on the show, because they know they can't BS me. They know, and to be honest, I view them as the enemy from this point forward. If they selling us out, I view them as the enemy. They are not a part of us. I'm gonna put this on the screen. Let me put this on the screen. Get this going real quick. You guys in buses had Donald Yates. I can't find the actual tweet, but he called the contract a Christmas gift. In this tweet right here, he said, "I was pleasantly surprised and support a yes vote." This is buses. He support the union actually getting us a 1.84% over 4 years. Because once again, the MTA already budgeted 2% a year. We was getting 8% before we even got to the table. He supports that. This shows you where your union rep's mind frame is. It shows you that they are here to sell us out. Yates would never, and I'm cool with Yates. Yates would never call this show and debate me on the facts. Never, ever. Because he know he can't fool me. He know he could fool y'all. That's why they pull his stunt with you guys. Tell Yates to call into the show. Tell him I want to speak with him. Any one of the 44 e-board members who voted yes for the contract, a contract that they have yet to see, tell them to call in. I'm willing to talk to them anytime this weekend. Tell them let's discuss it. Let's have an open and honest conversation regarding this contract. Man, I'm disgusted. I am beyond disgusted. And oh man. Anybody who votes yes for this how can you vote yes for this? And especially, people like to talk about unity. I have yet to see any type of demand or gain for the people in stations. I have yet to see any type of demand or gain for the people in CED. I have yet to see anything. I have yet to see anything for any one of those departments. Stations, what did you guys get? Station agents, you guys know that Omni is here. Where's your job security at? The cleaners, they got job security, and they only got that job security is because, again, during the contract, when they said that these contractors wasn't coming back on the property ever again, your union reps agreed for them to clean another 180 stations. How does that work? How you negotiate a contract for your workers, but you actually negotiate a contract for the contractors to come do your workers' work? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Your union reps negotiated a contract where they were supposed to negotiate in your best interest. Instead, they negotiated for contractors to come on the property to do your work. Does that make sense? Us New York City Transit employees, we are in deep trouble. We are in deep trouble. And not for nothing, I don't blame the union. The union leadership, they behave like any other type of person who want to take advantage, any other type of abuser. They take advantage of the people who don't say much. They take advantage of the people who don't come to the meetings. They take advantage of the people who take their whoopings in silence. They take advantage of us not coming to the union meetings, not going to these rallies. They take advantage of all of that. They figure they could do whatever they want to do. And you want to know what? They are doing whatever they want to do. All this fake outrage by the members. I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm furious. You guys are, I never seen people so seasonal upset a day in my life. I could count when you guys is going to be upset. Contract time, contract time, contract time. And then after the contract is said and done, you guys go in hibernation. And guess when? You guys will wake up again. After we get our asses handed to us on another contract. At what point do us as a membership wake up and say, hey, we done had enough. We need to get involved. This is the time. Yes, the E-board already voted on the contract that they never seen, that they didn't see. They voted on it already. We have a vote coming up. We could vote no. We can. Or we can continue to accept the crumbs that we get. At what point do the members stand up and take responsibility for what's going on here? At what point do we go to the union hall or we kick these reps who's lied to us out of our depots, out of our crew rooms? We let them know that we don't want to hear them. We don't want to hear anything you got to say. Get up out of here. 98% of these reps are nothing but used car salesmen selling us lemons. They do not care about us. They do not care about the workforce. They do not care about anything but lining their pockets, being released from their tools, and taking advantage of a membership that they know they are purposely keeping sleep on all levels. Purposely. They can't even tell us why. Or they can't even tell us the concessions that we have got. Look at this paper. They didn't even say, you know what, guys, to be honest, we did lose this. They're going to send out these contract proposals. They're going to send out the contract proposals. It's going to be in fine print what we lost. They're already encouraging people. Like, how can you vote yes on something that you didn't see? How can you do that? They have an agenda. They blame everyone else for having an agenda. These guys have an agenda. But I'm going to tell you guys this. It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to get focused, because it's funny that a lot of people have been hitting me up, asking me what's going on. Where was these questions before? How come y'all don't ask me what's going on when I'm having a rally? How come you guys don't ask me what's going on when I'm going to the MTA board meeting? How come you guys don't ask me what's going on? Let's go to a union meeting or something like that. Once we have been handled the BS, y'all want to ask what's going on. It's about time y'all get involved now. Be the change that you want to see. Support the platform. Look what we doing here. We providing information. The union isn't doing this. All this nice, fancy background stuff. The union is not doing this. Look at this right here. Look how nice this look. Look what I could do right here. Look at this nice graphic that I got going on here. Look what it does. All of that stuff costs money. When we say donate to the platform, you seeing the work that we do. You actually seeing the work. You guys is paying union dues and not seeing where your union money is going. At the least, if you're paying union dues, you're supposed to be like, yeah, they're supposed to fight to get us a good contract. You paying union dues and you getting nothing. You're not even seeing where your money is going. And donating to the platform is not all financial. Donating to the platform is adding people to the group, adding people to the page, sharing out the videos, Joining all our social media pages. That's a donation also. Spreading the word about progressive action. That's a donation. The money is important, but so is spreading the word, spreading the knowledge, putting your coworkers on to these videos and telling them, look, you need to watch this video right here. It's not nothing to read. Watch and listen to video. While you taking a shower, while you cooking, while you cleaning, put on the video and listen to what these people have to say. It's about time you guys get involved. Remember, I'm voting no. Trust me when I tell you, you should vote no. The E-board passed a contract to us that they have yet to see. So you want to know what? We have to make the decision for the E-board. They voted yes on something that they didn't see. So we're going to read it. We're going to see. Even with these highlights is BS. These highlights is BS. And once again, they was led by the snake oil salesman, Tony Utano. He sold us some snake oil. We're going to make the right decisions for our lives and our livelihoods. We're going to tell them to go back to that negotiating table and get us the raises that we deserve. Get us the health care that we deserve. Get us the departmental raises and productivity that we deserve. Come on. How you don't address the safety conditions on the job in this contract? How you don't do that? We got to tell them to go back to the table and try again. It's up to us. It's up to the members. Let's get involved. Let's stay focused. Let's share out this video. And you guys will be seeing more of Progressive Action. You guys will be seeing more people post on the Progressive Action TV page. We will be doing more videos from other departments. You're going to hear from other departments as to what's going on, how they feel about the contract. We're going to expand. We're going to get bigger. We're going to get better. And we ain't going to stop. Educate yourselves. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.